Oh, hello, everyone. We're super excited to be here today. We are going to talk about the Frost Fair series, the Bells of Christmas series, the best Christmas series in the world, according to the five of us. We're super excited. This is the first time, I think, that all five of us have been on a video chat together, right?
Yep.
I think so.
Yes, it's super fun because we always do the messenger chats and stuff, but it's just not the same as seeing so many beautiful faces. It's wonderful. Okay, we are going to go through. We have a list of questions that were asked by our followers beforehand. And if you are just joining us, you are more than welcome to ask your questions. Leave your comments in the comments, and we'll read them and ask as well if we're ready to answer them.
Look, I'm even next to my Christmas tree, so we can go extra Christmas. I know,
that's great.
That's good of me.
Yeah, I'm wearing snowflake earrings. Does that count?
It was for the ambient.
Yes. Ambient.
Well, I have my shirt. I have my title on my shirt, so.
Oh,
You do?
You can't see it.
festive we all are.
Oh,
Yeah.
cute. Not me.
It's
Sorry.
very cute. What about you, Ashley and Martha? Where's your festivity?
My shirt's green and you can't tell, but
Oh, well, that counts. Martha.
Bah humbug.
Okie dokie. Let's start answering these questions. The first one, Shaylin asked, how did you decide which authors would be a part of the series? Did all of you have to have and share your ideas before writing your book so you wouldn't have two books that are alike? And there
We
was
just
all
picked the cool ones, the cool authors,
for
to be
real.
a part of this series, right?
There's
Clearly.
also okay, and also B, I want to say her name is B, asked, how did you all come together? Whose idea and who made it happen? So we can just start off with that general. How did the Bells of Christmas be born?
I don't know, but we'll now know if I don't get asked to be in any more collaborations. Why?
Mindy, you'll have to see if you remember this, right? But I had this weird idea for a series that I was like kind of floating around, and it would not have worked well. But Mindy kind of tweaked it a little bit and was like, "Hey, we should do this as a series." And I was like, "Yeah, we should." And then I don't know, we didn't want it to be like a huge series because it can get kind of sticky when you have a lot of people to try to coordinate and everything. And so I don't know, we just reached out to a few people that we were already close with and felt like would be good to work with, and just kind of discussed it amongst ourselves. And the main kernel of the original idea was having this initial scene that all of the characters were in, and then they kind of go their separate ways. So yeah, it started as a bad idea for me.
And I remember I commented and I was like, I think you would have to do it like this. And then I thought about it for a minute and I went back and I commented again and I said, and if you choose not to do this, tell me, because I would like to do it. And then we kind of messaged back and forth and we were like, what if we did this as a Christmas series? That was fun.
Yeah, which is funny because Mindy, you and I hadn't even really talked at that point. I think I had met you very briefly at Storymakers, but we didn't really know each other. And now
look,
we're BFFs. So
I didn't know you.
Tell people.
I didn't know you guys had met at Storymakers as well.
I don't think Mindy remembers because I was the newbie, and I thought Mindy was like everybody knew Mindy, and I was like, she was cool, and I was like so shy
That's
and
always
nervous.
what's associated with my name. Mindy's the cool one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's true.
You were. So yeah, she doesn't remember that, but I do.
I don't know. I remember you saying one time that you sat like 3 people away from me and you were like, oh my heck, that is like the weirdest thing. I'm like,
Mindy.
whatever. Because I kind of think that about you guys. I feel like, I'm kind of like the lowest common denominator. So when you say that, then I'm like, what is she talking about? That's just weird.
You are not the lowest common denominator, Mindy.
Or not that you would say on public.
Oh my gosh. Okie dokie.
You are. We hoped you would figure that out on your own.
Thank heaven she's realized it.
Phew! We would thought we were going to have to tell you it soon, but you came to it on your own. Good job.
Okay,
That's so
let's
funny.
see. Okay, did all of you have to have and share your ideas before writing your book, so you wouldn't have two books that are like, yes,
kind of. I don't
Yeah.
know that any of us really are like, okay, this is my whole plan.
yeah,
But I think we all kind of are like, all right, this is kind of the tropes I'm using and kind of my loosely based.
yeah,
And then it kind of goes from there and it changes.
yeah. And it's not like it's like if some things are similar. Like I remember in the first series, Mindy, you said you were doing of Friends.
Childhood
Lovers,
friends.
right? Childhood friends, yeah. And then I was like, I can't write a book that's short without having them be childhood friends, so I'm also doing a childhood friends. And we worried that it would be too similar, but luckily nobody called us out for it.
Yeah.
Until now that
Well,
they
and
realize.
even this year's, I know everyone was like, oh, my people are meeting by falling on the ice.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
what else do you do on ice?
I know. And what was going to be our catchphrase? Fall in love.
Where everybody falls in
Yeah.
love.
What happened to that?
Yeah,
Why
I
did we not do
forgot.
that?
We forgot about that.
That should be on all of our Amazon product pages.
Did we all
that one?
Did we all end up with a fall in the first chapter?
I did.
I
I
did.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
Yes.
Okay. We did that on purpose.
Yeah, we did.
Well, I don't think we did initially, but then when we started talking, then it was like, what other option do we have? Yep, we're all going with the fall.
Yeah.
Well, it's ice.
Exactly.
I know.
And I was like, well, you're doing a fall. Maybe I shouldn't. And then I was like, but what else are they going to do? Like,
Mhm.
jauntily skate across? I don't know. I mean,
And they're all
Jauntily.
different kind of falls too.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're all
Yeah.
the exact. I love how we're all defending our choice.
mine isn't technically a fall. He catches her first.
Oh, that's romantic.
I am one of the kids doing its own thing, I guess. in this case.
Nancy says hello. Hello, Nancy.
Hello, Nancy.
Hello.
Miranda says, "Yay, glad to be here. Love all these authors." Oh, thank you.
Aw.
And Betsy says, "Hi, ladies. Love the whole series. Thank you. We're so happy. We are so seriously. It's like the best thing in the world knowing that you guys are enjoying the series. It's like seriously the best."
Mhm.
Oh, and Shaylin, thank you for answering. You're welcome. Hi, ladies from Tasha. Is it Tasha or Tasha? You need to let me know that because I need to know. Hello, welcome. We're so glad you guys are joining us. And look, we're getting comments today.
Did we answer that whole first question?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Good
we've
for us.
got, Tasha, tell me. She says, thanks for getting me through the car pickup line today. You are welcome. Paige asks, should we read all the Bells series before reading the Frostfair series? Does it matter which order to read each series in? If not, how did you decide which order to release them in? So, who wants to answer that one? Can you read the Bells before the Frostfair?
Well,
I think that it depends, but for a lot of us, we used a character from the Bells first series as a main character in the second series. So for a lot of them, it's not necessary to read the Bells before the Frostfair, but you might get more Easter eggs or more out of it if you do.
well,
Yes.
and if you read them opposite, you might. I know all of us are waiting on the edge of our seats to see if the two main characters get together in the end.
Who knows?
You never know.
But if you read them out of order, that might be a spoiler for you if you find out they did get together in the end.
Well, and in the first installment, like last year's installment, we had so the first book, Mindy's book was first, and she at the masquerade she talked about my characters, which were in the second book, and then this time we decided to do it the opposite way. So because first off you read Ashton's book, and then you get to the next one and you see her character show up in that book instead. So we kind of flipped it that way because we felt like it would mean more to readers because they already read an entire book about these characters. And so, we did that little switcheroo this time.
Which was more fun, I feel, because it's more memorable that way. Because then you actually know the character and know to kind of look out for it.
Yeah, because I don't think people even realized we did that in the first.
I don't either. Because Because really and truly, you read it in the first chapter, and then by the time you get to the next book, like that was
There's
the only
nothing.
time
It's
you
like-
heard them. Like,
It's
Yeah.
a passing reference of
Yeah.
people that you don't know yet. So
Yeah.
we live, we
call
learn.
that a marketing fail.
It was fun though.
It was fun.
Yes. Yes. Going along with that, Mandy asked, I'd love to know how you coordinate with each other for the tiny Easter eggs that appear in each other's books. That was more so for the Frost Fair. And that was like, I think it was mostly, so you just answered that one, but there were some that were just kind of happenstance that just kind of worked its way nicely into it. Cause we were just going to start off with just having the first chapter have that similar character in. And then I was reading through Casey's book and I was like, I saw that she had a doctor and I was like, you should make this doctor Dr. Kent. Because before you had like an old doctor or something.
He was an old man, yeah. So I was like,
just make sure
done.
you make him attractive. So that was
Hey,
fun.
I
And
tried
then-
well, but mine wasn't in London, so I guess that wouldn't have worked.
See, and I know, and that's what I thought too. I was like, I'm just going to make everyone shove my Dr. Kent into each of their doctor books. So I did it wherever I could.
So is he in more than one book, Deborah?
He's in my book too.
Yeah, Martha and Casey.
I stuck him in
Because
because I needed a doctor and because of the fall, you know. The
I'm
ice.
a Dr. Kent from London. I could have done that.
Well, dang it, Mindy. Just add it in right
Release
now.
a second edition.
Yeah. An added character from
That could be my secret added chapter for
Oh yeah.
those of ardent fans. You could write something.
I love it. And then I'll
I think
promote
I
it
have
too because it'll have a
fans.
character. We all do, Mindy.
Mindy. That's my name, like with a bit of contempt. Mindy.
No, it's what is that? It's pointedly.
Pointed
Not with
okay.
contempt.
Not with contempt. Okay,
No,
good.
never with contempt, Mindy. Shelley says, I love all of them. I can't wait for the final book next week. Yes. We are also excited for Martha's book to release. Shaylin says, if they were all released at the same time, we would catch all these Easter eggs, but when they are spaced, I forgot characters' names. Yes, we basically did too, which is why we chose it, because it's a lot smarter this way. Leslie says, I want him to get a story and love.
Oh, who?
Who?
Dr. Kent did, right?
Yes, Dr. Kent is in my
Maybe.
book.
Yeah, maybe she
He
hasn't
did.
Deborah's
Maybe
book
he
yet.
does get love.
read. Who knows?
You'll have to read
Oh,
it to
great. Now
see.
we just spoiled it for her. Deborah.
Sorry.
Oh.
Shelley asked, whose idea was it to coordinate for these last year? It was so cool to learn about the Frost Fair. It was the first I ever heard about it. I love learning new things to research and learn about us too. And then Natasha, she said her name is Natasha, like Tasha. She says, me too, give me all the Frost Fair. Leslie says, Dr. Kent. Oh, I need to read it. Yes, that's my book, Dr. Kent. He's a hottie. Yeah, okay. So whose idea was it to coordinate? Martha's and Mindy's.
We were
Cool.
the cool kids. Let's call
Yeah.
it out like
I
we see it.
mean,
Pretty much.
as usual.
And we love learning about the Frost Fair too. Wasn't it Ashton? Didn't you bring it up first, the Frost Fair?
No, I can't take credit. I don't think it was me.
Really?
Taking it.
I don't think
it?
I thought it was you.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I had never heard about the Frost Fair. That's
Was
why
it
I thought-
Mindy?
It was during one of our brainstorming
Like
sessions.
back
you
in
mentioned
December of
it.
last year. I am like 95% sure it was Ashton.
Go
I'm
Ashton.
like
'Cause I remember
100%
you-
sure it wasn't me. I'm not that smart. I can't tell
Ashton,
them
you
that.
will take it, dang it.
No,
Okay.
does no one else remember?
I don't
Martha,
remember
was it
like
you?
I don't remember mentioning it. I
Might
knew
have
about
learned
it.
last year.
I knew about it before just because I had to research like
I knew
for
about
my
it
past
too.
book.
Yeah.
Like our
Mhm.
last year book, I had read about it like for the crazy year, like the crazy weather they had that year, but I
Yeah.
don't know that I suggested it. It just spontaneously suggested.
Yeah, I don't know. if you
I
suggested
don't
it either.
remember.
Okay, well, I'm going to go look back in our chats and I'm going to prove that it was Ashton.
Good luck with that. That's like hours of time.
Yeah.
No, you just do a quick little search for the date. It's fine.
Oh.
I'm really good at stalking these things. I'll do it. It's fine.
That's a skill.
Good to know.
Okay.
Good to know.
Lucy says, I'm reading the series now and enjoying the books very much. Thanks to the authors for a great Christmas reading. You're welcome. We're so glad you're enjoying them. That's nice. Leslie asks, when did you start talking about doing this series?
Oh, let's see.
July?
That was early. Was it
August?
Summertime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It was
summer,
even
last summer.
earlier. I feel like
Wait.
I feel like I had the covers done like in June.
Yeah.
And the
I
other
was
book
gonna
didn't
say
even
it was
come out
like-
until October.
I wanted to say it was more like April or May-ish because
No,
Yeah.
I don't think it was that early because I didn't even.
It was
release
after
my
Story
first book
Makers, right?
till-
oh really?
Yeah.
It was after Storymakers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I said, I don't remember 21.
Deborah will look it up.
I will. And then
Yeah,
I'll comment with
get on that too.
Okay.
You can figure that one out also.
There's also a question about the covers. Which came first, the titles or book covers, which are gorgeous. That's
Thanks to Ashton.
Ashton.
Your
Usually
secret weapon.
the titles or book covers, which came first.
It's a combination with mine because I give her a title and she comes up with the cover, and then I change the title and then give her a new one.
You're welcome, Ashton, for all that work.
There you go.
I think the
No
rest of us
problem.
is the titles, though, right? I mean, we're the
I
nice
think mine was the
ones,
title.
so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Usually title. I think
Yeah.
I think Mindy and Deborah both changed their titles. The
Wow,
first
guys.
time Deborah changed her title.
I
remember
did. I did.
But it
Because I
wasn't
had
a big
12
deal.
ladies dancing instead of 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've changed mine on both times, haven't I?
I think.
work on that.
Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
because Unmasking Lady Caroline, I think, started out as like,
A Carol for Caroline.
Oh yeah.
yes, oh, that was
Yes.
the worst. So glad we changed it.
No, that was cute. I liked it.
Yeah.
Mindy.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Anyway,
Titles are hard.
titles are
Yeah,
hard.
they are.
yeah.
Titles are hard, and my mom still thinks that I named that character after her.
Don't crush your
Keep
bubble
saying,
now.
Mom, your name is Caroline. Hers is Caroline, and she's like, it's close enough. So she was a little sad that I didn't like dedicate it to her. I was like, nope, you don't. Sorry.
Second edition. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
exactly. I did a whole new edition just so I could dedicate it to you.
You were welcome.
That would be like A1 daughter right there, wouldn't it?
We had the Frost Fair. I think for both series, we had both of the books. Or I think Ashton, you had your cover first, right? And then I think all of us saw the cover and we were like, I want mine now. So we had to hurry and rush and try to figure out our story. At least that's what I did. Because the second I saw the covers, I was like, I gotta get me one of those.
Covers are so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're so dang pretty and they match so perfectly together. Miranda says, question for any of you. Do any of these stories in this series come from ideas that you had to do more extensive research on? I'm also a writer working on my first historical novel, and I know research is a challenge. Would love to know favorite research resources you'd love to go to. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think every single story I ever write, I have to do more extensive research on, whether it's for one stupid sentence or for the entire book.
Yeah.
Well, and Christmas, you have to do extensive research because it's so different than what we do now.
Yeah, for sure.
And so trying to like, I know that I was talking about doing a Christmas series with someone and they're like putting a Christmas tree and I'm like, but there were no Christmas trees. I mean, there were a few, but they were like so rare until the Victorian time that if you got a Christmas tree in there, you better have a pretty good backstory as to why that Christmas tree is in there.
Like a German.
That's what I did.
I was going to say that's what you did too, Martha, right? In your first one?
Yeah. I did that
because it was
in
a
my
thing
first
there,
one,
but
too.
not really. And in this book that I wrote, I wanted there to be like a nativity at the Frost Fair, but at that time, most people in England were, Anglican, part of the Church of England, and they didn't do those kind of things. They didn't celebrate holidays like we're used to. And so I had to make sure that the people putting on the nativity were Catholic. I just had to make more sense because I needed it in my story. So I had to do research on that. And then I also had to research pretty deeply into the Foundling Hospital because that was a pretty big part of my story. And then kind of like infertility and what it was like during that era, which there's not that much information on. But I feel like every book there's always something that you have to really delve into, and usually many things.
Yeah. Which is like, if you look at it in a fun way, like, oh, this is exciting to learn about this. Like, this will make a good story twist. Then it's fun. But if you look at it like, oh my gosh, there's just way too much to learn, then it kind of bogs it down. So be positive about it. It's better. I learned that the hard way.
And then you get research that you're like, how did this even lead me here? Like, I have no idea why I am in. Yeah. There was one the other day that I was like,
how did I get here?
How did I get here? And I am so fascinated. I cannot leave.
Yeah, like pig breeds in the 1800s. That was one for mine.
For one sentence, I'm assuming.
Yeah, for one dumb scene.
Yeah,
but it's worth it.
And then it gets cut in final edit. And then in final edit, you're like, "Oh, did I really need that? No, it's gone." And you're
whatever.
Like,
I keep mine in. I'm like, I
yeah, me too.
I'm not taking it out. I don't care if it doesn't make sense anymore. Shelly asks. Shelly asks, "Are there any in-person signings scheduled for next year yet?" I wish.
If someone hadn't moved out of state, it could.
Yeah.
Actually, we were supposed to do one this year in like May, but obviously, with stupid COVID. So we'll have to see if everything is happy again.
It will be.
Miranda says, "Thank you. Love the advice. You're welcome. Good luck with your book." That's exciting.
Very exciting.
Let's see. That one was answered. That one was answered. That one was answered. Hold on. Okay. What is your own personal favorite book in the 2 series? Mine was of our own books. Mine was On the Second Day of Christmas. 9 Ladies Dancing was very, very hard for me to write. I don't know why, but it was very painful. I love the story, but it was very painful to write. But On the Second Day of Christmas was a lot easier, so I choose that one.
I think I'm opposite of you.
Oh, really?
Last year's was like really easy for me to write. This year, I don't know. I think I was in a bad place. And so it was a struggle to write it. And it probably doesn't help that we're writing them in July. So it's 108 degrees outside and I'm listening to Christmas music. I'm in the mood. So this year it was harder. Plus, I think it's harder for me because mine this year is an enemies to lovers. So they do not like each other. And I think I tend to get that at them at the beginning. And so I'm like, I don't like either of you.
That's hilarious.
So until they start to be nice to each other, then it's just like,
yeah, that makes sense. What about the rest of you? Your favorite book that you've written in the series?
Ashton.
First or second?
Mine's probably the second.
Yeah.
The first, I'm the same way as you. The first one was so hard to write and it took me longer and it wasn't as fun. This time it flew by and it was more enjoyable. I don't know. It had nice. I had a different feel to it and it ended up being a little bit longer. I just could tell my heart was in it more this year for some reason.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly how mine was. Because it's funny because the first one, and it's when it's a hard thing to write, it always is shorter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When you enjoy it, it's like, oh, I'm okay making this a little longer. This isn't a slog. I'll keep on going.
I remember last year, me and you were talking to each other about how hard it was.
I hate this stupid book. Get me out of it. I'm never writing another Christmas story again.
And then we did.
Deborah's in charge of our marketing. She comes up with, I hate this stupid book.
Do you want to feel kind of Christmassy? You can kind of read this then. It's stupid, but you can read it. What about you, Casey and Martha?
Well, after that, I feel weird saying I liked both of my books, but I did.
So good. That's awesome.
I do like both of my books.
Don't get me
wrong.
Yeah, my first one it's kind of like a nod to Darcy where he's super, super prideful and has to overcome that. And so I just sort of love that. But I think I like this second one better just because it's so much more Christmassy.
Yeah. So, that's nice. Yours was very festive. Very, very Christmassy. I love that. Martha?
I don't know. Mine were so different. The tone kind of. This one was it was really different. We're writing about a married couple. I feel like emotionally I connect to this book more because it's I wrote it for my own personal experience. And so I'm probably more attached to this book. And I feel like even though it's a little bit like it's not as light as the other books in the series. Like I feel like for me, it's kind of conveys like the hope of Christmas and stuff. So I think I'm more attached to this newer one.
Hey,
But,
Martha,
I don't know. They're both fun to write about. Yeah.
Did you have this idea before, or did you come up with? I mean, did you have the idea and then make it fit this series, or did you?
Yeah, it came with when we decided to do a second installment. Yeah. I don't remember what triggered it, but yeah, it went with the Christmas. Like it came to me as like a Christmas story. So yeah.
Cool.
And it worked perfectly with it.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Take the compliment, Martha.
I know, I struggle.
Let's see. Okay. How did the 4 of us meet? 5 of us meet? Have we seen each other in person?
Apparently at Storymakers.
I'm really memorable.
I don't remember anyone. So if I do not remember, I used to be so good with names, and now I'm old, and my kids have sucked every like brain cell I have.
And you have to remember all your characters.
And I have characters yipping in my ear all the time, and so I'm like, I'm sure I loved you. But like, do I remember?
I'm sure.
I don't even remember like what Storymakers I've been to, let alone who I met there.
It's okay. I'm not offended. But
we met for the first time at Storymakers as well, Mindy and Martha.
Yeah.
Was the first time I'd met you when we like chatted until like 2:00 in the morning?
Yeah.
On the couch.
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
Wow.
It was.
See, I know you. I knew you all from Facebook though. That's what's weird.
Yeah.
That's how we all
had
initially
relationships online first, and then
Didn't
get catfished when we met in real life.
Thank heavens.
That's always a worry.
The first time go ahead.
I don't think all 5 of us have ever been at the same place at once.
Yeah.
But like I remember meeting each of you at different times. And then we've had 4 of us together a couple
Mindy
times.
had already plans that weekend, but
well, you had plans on mine, so
I know. And I regretted it ever since.
I know. So have I. So have I. Like every time I'm like twice I've missed out.
I know.
But I'm not bitter.
Missing retreats is the worst.
It is the worst.
Wait till next year when it'll be happy again.
Yeah.
We're hoping. The first time I met you, Casey, was at Mindy's retreat, right?
Yeah. Same with Ashton.
Yeah, that's the first time I met Casey and Mindy. And I'd already met Deborah.
Yeah, we met at the Regency retreat, right? In our Regency dresses.
Yeah.
So fun.
That's cute.
Yeah. I did see you at Storymakers, Ashton. I saw you at away in a classroom, and I was like, oh, that's Ashton. But I did not go up and talk to you.
I was like too scared to talk to. I recognized people at Storymakers, but I didn't get brave until the next year to actually talk to people.
Well, the thing that's so weird though is like I feel like I may not have met you until like February in person, but like I felt like I already knew you. Like we were like already best friends because we talk so much on Messenger. Like I talk to you guys probably more than I talk to my family members.
Who live in my own house.
Sure.
Exactly.
My kids are like, when I'm on Marco Polo, they're like, are you talking to Casey? Oh gosh.
I know. My husband will be like, will you tell the gals to go to bed already? I'm like, yeah, just a minute.
3 hours later.
Yeah.
We're still talking things.
Okay, fine. At least go mute your computer so I don't have to hear it. I'm like, okay. We can make that compromise.
Melissa says those are great marketing ideas. Oh my, this book sucks. Yeah. This is exactly why I'm not in charge of these things.
In bright pink or red.
Yeah.
Gold shooting from it. That's what it needs to be.
You probably won't like it, but you might. So
on the off chance.
Yeah. Valerie says, I love that your books in the series are so different. So that is not like reading the same story over with just different names. That's true. It is nice because we all have such different styles of writing. Like just like every author, you all have different styles, you know. So it's nice that all of us are different enough that we can create different stories. It would be fun to do a series once where we all have the exact same premise and the exact same trope
see how different they come out.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting,
very interesting.
maybe for the upcoming series.
Someone did ask, are you talking about a Christmas theme for next year? They're so fun. I have a prepared statement, so I don't share anything more. Oh no, I didn't say that. Hold on, let me find it.
Anticlimax coming up.
Okay. We're discussing 2021 right now and plan to do something. Stay tuned. That was from the wonderfully eloquent Martha. None of us could come up with anything else, so that's what we get. That is our answer. Let's see. Let me see. We have time for one more question. Any Easter eggs in your books that we should look out for? Or what's your favorite moment in the Frost Fair book? That will be our last question. Easter eggs or your favorite moment in the Frost Fair book you've just written?
I can't tell mine because mine's not out yet. So.
Oh, yeah.
Hashtag no spoilers.
I have two.
Okay, let's hear it.
You go first. No, you go first.
My favorite scene was just I have the other character from Nine Ladies Dancing mentioned kind of in it, so that's one Easter egg, but that's basically it. And then and my one Easter egg I always do is mention Cornwall somewhere in my books. So I made Cornwall a big mention in this book. And my favorite scene was the stairs scene. I won't give any spoilers, but that scene was my favorite.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love that part.
Okay, go, Mindy.
Mine is probably, there's a snow scene that I like because there's kids and I always like kids. And then probably the epilogue. The epilogue is probably one of my favorites, which is really funny because I thought I might write an epilogue, but I had no idea what I was going to write. So I sent my book to all my ARC readers and everyone just before it was being released. And I had put epilogue, but then I didn't write anything. Everyone was like, I didn't get the epilogue.
Create your
epilogue because I hadn't actually written it yet. So, and then I wrote it like 2 days before I was supposed to upload
naturally.
It to Amazon, and it was like the cutest part. I was like, seriously, the book ended just fine without the epilogue. But then I wrote the epilogue, and I was like, okay, I guess this is better. So then I had to send everyone the epilogue because they were all like, I think there was a problem with my copy. I didn't get the epilogue.
It's not loading.
Note to self, don't put epilogue on until you actually put the epilogue in it.
That's what Martha sent me a book once that didn't have the epilogue to it. Yeah. And I was reading it and it had like bulleted form and I was like, what? I was very disappointed.
I know. I'm sorry. I always put off the epilogue until
epilogue,
later.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna write an epilogue, there should be like, for me, epilogues like bring up full circle, right?
Yeah.
But if you can't bring up full circle, then I'm like, I don't know.
It's still needed.
But apparently once all those emails started coming in, my brain was like, oh, apparently I should think about this. Okay. So
Marilee says the stairs was my favorite scene too. Melissa says, love the stair scene. So glad you guys like that. And Marilee said, I'm so glad you added the epilogue. See, Mindy. Mindy.
I think Marilee was one of them that was like, I didn't get an epilogue. No one got an epilogue.
It's so needed.
I actually did that once, though, where I did that. I didn't send the epilogue, but I didn't tell them there was going to be an epilogue. And then I published it and I was like, oh, to all my ARC readers, guess what? There's an epilogue now.
Go buy my book and you can read it.
My best ploy, but it wasn't really a ploy. I just, I don't think of them until right last minute. Except this book I just
every time.
And then I was like, send it to my editor and I'm like, look, epilogue, take that.
Marilee just said, haha, yes, laughy face, laughy face. She was one of them.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Who else? Favorite scene or any Easter eggs?
Ashton and Casey.
My favorite scene, well, there's a couple of scenes that involve a plum pudding. And if you've read it, you know the scenes I'm talking about. I don't want to say much else.
Yeah.
But the plum pudding brings the characters together more than once. And so that's why. I don't know. I just like this. I feel like readers like that part the best too, from what I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of mention of that too. That's fun.
Similar. It's when they're alone at night talking and no one else is awake in the house. I think those are fun scenes.
And they're so nice for the romantic tension.
They're
so easy to write, and it's just like, oh, this is lovely. You guys are so in love with each other.
Yeah.
Heidi says the stair scene was awesome. It was my favorite too. Oh, that makes me happy. And Elle says, yes, I love the last plum pudding scene the best. Nancy says, love the plum pudding scenes too. That's fun. This is so fun. Martha, did you answer yet?
Oh, I just said I can't because my book doesn't come out
that's
tomorrow.
Right.
It comes out. Oh, it is tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can you hint without giving anything away?
Yes, I can. Now I have to think about it.
Did I just put you on the spot?
Yeah.
Sorry.
She thought she had gotten out of it. I think we've all been fairly cryptic, though.
Yeah. I like the scenes with I actually really like the epilogue, but I like also the scene at the Foundling Hospital earlier on in the book. I don't know. Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that one. I won't say anything more either. Tasha says, woot woot, happy reading for us. Yes. There will be some good reading from Martha. Okay. I think that's everything. Oh, maybe we should talk about Poldark really quick, or do we not have to? Just kidding. That was for you, Mindy.
That is never really quick.
That's
really
also
quick.
an Easter egg. It's either Cornwall or Poldark that I have to mention. So, Marilee says the epilogue in Martha's book is perfect.
Oh, thanks, Marilee.
Nice. It is
You're the best.
Perfect.
We only pay Marilee a very small fee. For like,
I'll PayPal you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, if anybody, no more anything. Oh, somebody just says Poldark.
I think those exclamation parts
Miranda.
mean Poldark. Ugh.
3. No. That means
I know,
yes,
one
we
is like
agree.
Poldark.
It's hard when we can't assault Mindy with Poldark gifts, though, because that's what we usually do.
Dang it. Just went to the chat after this. Valerie says it really is. Martha's epilogue is really perfect. Tasha says, I'll pay the fee. Marilee says, I love you guys. Oh, we love you guys too. This is so fun. Thank you all so much for commenting and for participating. This has been one of the best ramblings we've had. Who does your covers? Miranda asked.
The lovely Ashton.
Right
and
there.
The incomparable.
So he knows who I'm talking about. It's her.
There.
Oops, no.
There. Yeah.
Martha takes a lot of the pictures.
Yes.
That's not a big part of how it looks at
That
the
one. Leslie says, Deborah, does your husband like Poldark? He does. Luckily, I would have to force him.
Or so he says. He wouldn't do
part of the marriage vows.
Yes, I will marry you so long as you promise to love Poldark as much as I do.
Or at least pretend to. I don't care deep down how you feel about it. You will just exude it when we are together.
What's nice is that he really does. He does enjoy it. He does not watch it as often as I do, but he does enjoy it.
Does anyone know?
Melissa says Poldark could be a really long discussion. See, I know we're still going on about it. Mindy doesn't.
Could be. It is a very long discussion.
It's constant. Betsy says you ladies are such fun. We're so glad you think so. Miranda says, wow, beautiful covers. Well done. Thanks for your time today. Thank you for coming. We're going to stop now, or we'll go on for Poldark for like 3.5 hours, which is what the chat is going to be about. Mindy.
Mindy.
How did you get past season 2?
That's a whole nother.
It is.
Save it.
Message me and I will tell you how I got past season 2. Because we have all gotten past, the 4, not this one.
No,
we've gotten past season 2, and we are all glad we did. And we were all very traumatized but we did it. And I will message you and tell you why.
Did I happen to mention Poldark lost in my kissing bracket scene?
Yeah, I wonder why, Mindy.
I said nothing. I said I will say nothing on this. You're welcome.
Oh, funny. Okay.
Funny.
Just
so you know, Deborah and I really are very good friends.
We are. See the smiles.
There's no one I'd rather argue Poldark with than Deborah.
Me either. All right. Thank you, everyone. We're going to end this now. We will see you next time. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.